Good morning, class 8. So, we will continue with page number 146. So far we have learned that Buddha is ready to leave his home. Okay, it is for the last time he is seeing his wife and his son. So at last he turned away and went out into the bright moonshine and mounted his horse and rode off into the world. So he left, or he leave his worldly pleasures, and out he goes. Very far he rode that night and dismounted beside a sandy river. Dismounted means utarjana. Okay, so dismounted a sandy river. There he cut off his flowing locks with his sword. So he had very big hairs. So he cut off with a sword, removed all his ornaments, and sent them and his horse and sword back to his house. So he means, as his horse was pet, so he gives his horse a command to take all the things back to his house. He met a man in ragged clothes. Ragged means torn clothes, and exchanged the clothes with him. So having divested himself of all worldly entanglements means bondage, he was free to pursue his search for wisdom. So he was ready for searching his wisdom. He made his way southward to a place where hermits and teachers gathered in a hilly spur of Vindhya mountains. So hermits are knowledgeable persons. Okay, the gurus, you can say hermit, those who lived in villages. And teachers gathered in a hilly spur of Vindhya mountains. So where did he gone off to? He had gone off to Vindhya mountains. There lived a number of wise men in a warren of caves, and imparting their knowledge by word of mouth. So they used to preach. Philosophers. Okay, they were philosophers. They used to impart their worldly knowledge to every citizens out there. So Gautama became versed in all the great philosophers of his age, but his acute intelligence was dissatisfied with the solutions offered to him. So he needed an answer to a question that rotate around his mind. And what is the question? The question is how to attain salvation, or how to attain moksha. Okay, so salvation means ultimate peace, or where you can bear everything, every hurdle, or you can attain death without any fear. So that is the answer that Gautam Buddha needed. That death is inevitable, and death can cause sorrowness, but that sorrowness can be overcome. So that is what you need to accept in your life. So he took 5 disciple companions to the jungle, and there he gave himself up to fasting and penances. His fame spread like the sound of a great bell hung in the canopy. His fame spread like the sound of a great bell hung in the canopy of the skies, but it brought him no sense of truth achieved. So though he took, how many disciples did he take with him? He took 5 disciples with him. And what did he do? He was out of food. Okay, he was doing fasting. And penances means strain to his body, but still his fame spread like the sound of a great bell hung in the canopy of the skies, but it brought him no sense of truth achieved. One day he was walking up and down, trying to think in spite of his weak state. Suddenly he fell unconscious. When he recovered, he realized fasting and starving himself will not help him gain wisdom. So he realized that means if you do not eat, if I don't eat, if I do strenuous works without eating, then I am just causing what? I am just giving myself pain and not getting any knowledge out of it. So he thought that it was not the cause. I'm talking about page 147. So this was not the case. Okay, so come to page 148. So he decided to eat normal food and look for another path to find the truth. He had realized that whatever truth a man may reach is reached best by a nourished brain in a healthy body. So if you want to learn something, you have to eat first. Okay. So food gives us energy. So if you do not have energy, you will not gain any wisdom. So when the mind grapples with a great and complex problem, it makes its advances step by step, and with but little realization of the gains it has made, until suddenly, with an effect of abrupt illumination, it realizes its victory. So by knowing step by step, you will come to your knowledge, you will come to your salvation, you will come to your ultimate knowledge or wisdom that you want to know. So for that, what you need to do, you need to energize yourself. So that is what Buddha started doing. So it realizes its victory. So it happened to Gautama. He had seated himself under a great tree by the side of a river when his sense of clear vision came to him. It seemed to him that he saw life plain. His life's plain matlab life in a simple way. He seemed to have sat all day and night in a profound thought, and then he rose up to impart his vision to the world. Okay. So the starting point of his teaching was his own question as a fortunate young man: why am I not completely happy? It was an introspective question. The introspective question means it is a question where every answers will be different. All suffering is due to the greedy desires of the individual. So why do we suffer? Because we have desires, we have wants, we need these, we need that. If we do not get that or this, then ultimately we become depressed. So desires must be cancelled, or desires must be stopped. As long as human beings crave things, they will know sorrow, and will not be completely happy. As we will crave for things, we will go for materialistic needs. What will happen to us? We will deeply engross ourselves in sorrowness, and we cannot come out completely happy. But there are three principal forms that the craving for life took, and they all cause sorrow. The first is a desire for the appetitis and greed. So, food. Appetitis is the food. Bhuk and greed. The second is the desire for immortality. Okay, I will not die. I will be immortal. So, this is the second cause. And the third is the craving for personal success, worldwideness, okay, worldliness and avarice. So you will have everything, others will not have anything. I will become rich, I will have the money, I will enjoy all the pleasures that I need. So these are the three principles, very important for your question. So these three principles, the people think that they are ready to attain happiness by following these three principles, but actually this is not the case. All these forms of desire had to be overcome to escape from the distresses of life. When they were overcome, the serenity of soul, nirvana, the highest good, was attained. So, all these forms of desire, when you overcome all these three principles, when you overcome all these three principles, that is your desire, then what are the things that we learn? Your desire, greed, then the second form was immortality, you will not die. Okay, and the third is personal success, worldliness and avarice. So all these things, if you get out from all these things, then what will happen? You will attain your serenity, the peacefulness of your soul. So Gautam's disciples declared that he was a Buddha, that is an enlightened being. He preached an eightfold path, that is 8 things one could follow to lead the right life. They are the right viewpoint. Okay, so 8 things are the right viewpoint. 1. Number 2 is the right values. Third, the right speech. The right actions is 4th. 5th is the right livelihood. 6th, way of earning. 7, the right effort. And 8th the right mindfulness or mental ability to see or understand, and right concentration or state of meditation and enlightenment. So these are the 8 things that you need to learn, or the Buddha's disciples teach every people in this world. Okay, so whenever if somebody follows Buddha religion, so this is the eightfold path that Buddha have taught us. So this is all about the chapter. This is based on H.G. Wells. Okay, so that under that Bodhi tree, okay, Bodhi tree where Buddha sat and enlightened, he attained his salvation or attained his wisdom by sitting under the Bodhi tree. Okay, you know that, I guess. So and Emperor Ashoka, you know Ashoka, you will be learning it in your history, built the first temple near the Bodhi tree. Okay, even when you go to Bodhi, near to the Bodhi tree, you can see there is a temple, and it was created by Ashoka. Okay, near that Bodhi tree. So this is all about the chapter. And just go through it. Very simple chapter. You don't have to learn very much, and all the important things I'll tell you regarding the online when we have the online class. Okay, have fun. Bye bye, class.